Thank you for joining us and welcome to Driving Business. I'm Bob Myers with Brand Fuel Solutions, and we're here in Reading, Pennsylvania today with Josh Hafetz, a third-generation beauty distributor who just made a game-changing move that joined the synergies of two iconic and competitive suppliers into one powerhouse distributor. It's called Ethos Beauty Partners. I'm excited to hear more about it, so hop on in and take a drive with us. Okay.
All right. Should I take you to where I grew up, Bob?
That would be awesome. Let's
All right,
go see it.
Let's do that. Make a left here.
This is Pagoda Town, right?
It is indeed. It's behind us to the left. You can't see it on the way back.
Now, is this called Pretzel City as well?
I know that we are known for pretzels. I actually have never heard that term, but sure, makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think Reading is sometimes they call it the ding every now and then. I've heard that one.
The ding.
The ding, yeah. But
Ethos is a big buzz in the industry right now. So, tell me a little bit about how you joined forces with what was aggressive competitors in a market for years. I mean, it really has to have a deeper strategy and story, right?
It does, and for generations, actually 3 generations, we were beating it out in the streets with East Coast, and had developed a very respectful, competitive, but definitely competitive relationship. And it's pretty shocking if 15 years ago to think we'd be here today. Definitely wouldn't have predicted it, but here we are, which I'm sure the next question is, how did we get here? Is that where we're going with this?
What was the motivation? What was the inspiration behind it?
It was probably a confluence of a handful of events, one of which was, I think, COVID. Kara, my new partner at Ethos, the former head of East Coast, for those that don't know, we started talking a lot during the very beginning of shutdown and commiserating. We've always had a nice relationship, respectful, nice, but still competitors, and I think we kind of bonded over the mutual pain and suffering of being out of business and having to lay our people off, and remember what it was like, March 2020, sure. Right? Yeah. And then an extension of that was she was preparing to go through something similar to what we went through, which is to exit working with L'Oreal and Redken. Mm-hmm. We're going to go left here. Okay. So let me take a time out. This is the neighborhood that I grew up in. I was born here. It's called Flying Hills, and I moved. There's a golf course, as you can see. I used to sell golf balls, find them in the woods, and sell them for $0.25 out of a little egg crate. Oh my gosh. We can just cruise around here. I can just go straight. I'll show you this pond. We would ice skate up here when it froze.
Flying Hills.
Flying Hills. Yeah, it's a great place to grow up. We both went through an exit of our long-term relationship with L'Oreal.
Now yours happened in what, 2016?
2016. Right? That's when we became Art of Business from Raylon. Right. East Coast just not too long ago went through some sort of similar version of that. Mm-hmm. So that actually was sort of where the opportunity started to peek its head out. We looked at our portfolio, what our strengths were, and started to think about what the benefits for each company would be. That's the house I was born in, right there, 6 Chip Lane. I haven't seen that house in 25 years, actually.
No way.
I never.
We're taking you back.
I never
trip
come
through
up
memory lane.
Oh my God, many good years. The backyard, the big hill we'd sled on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. There it is.
Anyway, and so I think through some of those conversations, we were almost just playing a silly game with each other, like, what would it be like? Kind of playing what if, and through that, it just all the exciting synergies and opportunities started to present themselves, and next thing you know, it's kind of like when you and your wife are you just casually go house shopping, and next thing you know, you fall in love with a house, and you're putting an offer in on it.
Yeah, you've got money out.
Yeah. So it was sort of a version of that. So that's sort of the answer in a nutshell.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm sure you looked at, where the economies of scale are.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think the sort of some of the, just in a nutshell, the what we thought were the really exciting parts was the sales and brand synergy, having double the sales team, stores, being able to support a store portfolio, whereas individually we probably didn't have the portfolio to have a great store strategy.
Right.
So we went from 13 to 1, and then when East Coast was going through their thing, they were also having to contract their stores. So this will reposition us to be able to leverage the store business, but I think in totality, we're just going to be a better partner for our brands, because we're going to have just this incredible runway and history of relationships in the marketplace, and when you combine, what was another interesting thing is when we looked at our client overlap, it was minimal. We thought we were going to have tons of overlap.
Yeah, that would have been my impression.
And what we realized is, while there definitely was some, it was not a large percentage of the business. And so when we saw that, we're like, wow, think about how that just broadens our reach,
then,
right? Total incremental. So that was a huge thing. Of course, consolidating into one warehouse represented some operational synergy, which, that being said, is not an easy endeavor. You can just go around. We're just at the top here.
Yeah. So now, which warehouse is the live warehouse now?
We consolidated the warehouse operations to what was formerly the East Coast warehouse. They had a much bigger and more sophisticated warehouse setup than we did. So as a result of that, we consider that building, Ethos East, our primary headquarters, but we still have some great people working out of Ethos West, which was the former Art of Business headquarters, including our store, offices, and our gallery.
Okay.
But we don't use the warehouse for Ethos.
Gotcha. Wow. So a lot of thought went into it, and you're right. I mean, this was a contentious market, and you two were dominant players and went head to head, but it was always professional, and it was always based on relationships. And it's great to hear that this is truly an incremental gain for both of your client bases. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, it's been. I will say that we've been heartened and tremendously what's given us a lot of enthusiasm and excitement is the reception that we've gotten from our customers and from our brands, and really the industry at large. That's not to say there hasn't been struggles integrating. It's a really tough thing to do.
Oh, God.
And so that'll be our next drive, but I think we just have, it's kept our enthusiasm and our excitement, just seeing the reception that people have given us.
That's great. So the customers have been like, this is a great thing. I now have one person coming to see me versus two. Is that
so it largely, that has been the response. I will say that in the beginnings of our transition, we January 1st was like when we did this, and it was in the peak of like the Delta or the Omicron wave or whatever COVID wave we were having,
whichever version.
Yeah, right. And we were having some tough times in the early days, just getting our warehouse humming like it should have been, and so our customers were wildly happy, except for the fact that we were probably taking too long to get our orders out in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's never fun, and that's not who each of us are and where we'll be. But short of that fact, yeah, I think it's been a really positive reception, and we had a great show not too long ago, so we got to see everybody in person, a lot of our top clients and our brands, and it was sort of like our big open house launch party.
So the other part of it is, with all the direct to consumer, strategies that are being executed right now, and how does that play into because a lot of brands can just go and because of social media and because of e-platforms and commerce, they can establish their own market, but how does that play into it for the distribution side of things?
So this is going to be me on my soapbox for a second. This is, I get passionate about this, and it will be absolutely, for people listening might say, oh, of course a distributor is going to say that, but allow me, since you asked the question. So I wholeheartedly believe that you can have that blended approach, that multi-pronged approach, and still do it in a way that doesn't become at the expense of your distribution and your salon network. So there's brands out there that there's a couple ways to do it, but there's a handful of brands that are currently doing versions of that where you can have a vibrant distribution business, but also have some direct to consumer, or even we have a brand that has a direct to professional business, but enjoins the distributor in those sales.
So you participate in like an e-share or a commerce
correct.
of the, yeah, that's
correct. And so the ways to do that is simply just do like rev shares tied to market, but there's other ways to do it, like like certain brands that offer distributors a pool of equity based on their performance. And there's a lot of other things in between, but I think that as a distributor, my belief is, and particularly if you're talking to new young brands that are seeking to gain distributor support to bring them to market, is distributors can't be continually asked to take you to the dance and then have you go home with someone else, right? Like that's not, and that's been the history of distribution, and in this new digital age, it's very easier and faster for that to happen. So distributors, what we're doing to protect ourselves, or to at least share in the rising tide that's lifting all boats, is say, hey, we're happy to bring you to market, but if our effort allows you to sell more business on Amazon or more business directly, then you should not be cutting us out of that.
That's right.
So there's ways to do it directly and indirectly, like I just shared. So
no, that's incredible, and I think and here we are back at Ethos Beauty Partners, and looks like the store is very operational, right?
The store is operational, although we have yet to actually get the full breadth of the combined portfolio in all of our stores. So that's actually the current project du jour. This one was our store originally, so it has all of the Art of Business brands.
Right.
Some of we're still waiting to put some of the former East Coast brands into it. Conversely, the former East Coast stores don't yet have all the Art of Business brands. So that's what we're working on. We had, with the warehouse integration and then our big show, we had to unfortunately push that back. But
yeah, for sure. So I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule right now. And I know it's been a long
congrats on your new endeavor, by the way.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, we just launched Brand Fuel Solutions less than 6 months ago, and it's really been a fast ride ever since. For those who don't know us, we're a consulting firm that specializes in strategic development for emerging and established businesses. It's in the pro beauty space, and we're already seeing a growing, forward-thinking list of clients. So we're excited to expand on that in the future. As a
I got a hat.
You are, and actually, I'll leave the tag on it because that's kind of the fashion, but not necessarily the barcode.
I don't think the barcode is the fashion. Yeah,
but welcome to the Brand Fuel Solutions family.
Can I try it on?
You can try it on.
Looks like it's going to be a little big on me. I'll have to adjust it later.
You'll have to adjust it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that looks good on you. Absolutely. And please like us on our YouTube channel, and thank you for watching. And go to our website at brandfuelsolutions.com to find out more about what we do. Thank you.